Yo, Devyn Merklin here, and I want to show you how I almost destroyed my e-commerce brand. Now, I have I've sold a couple e-commerce brands in the past. I've grown from zero all the way up to $50 million plus in less than 4 years. This is not one of those bigger brands. This is a smaller brand, but I want to show you exactly how I almost destroyed it. And I learned one key lesson that is super duper important from this. Now, when I first started this brand, and if you're looking at this paper pad here, like, oh, this is new, because it is, I'm going to write on it. But when I first, let me say, helped start this brand, there was an influencer tied to it. And he had a few things going, right? So he was maybe doing 40 grand a year, I think is about that number. Not a big e-commerce brand at all. Now, I had a little bit of extra downtime and I actually watched his YouTube videos a lot. We had it's an automotive channel, and he had a car that I was actually building at home. And I'm like, oh, that's super cool. I'm going to reach out to this guy. I see his store. Maybe he wants some help. And so reached out to him, and his name's Cameron. Now he's my business partner and a great friend. And during the time, he's like, yeah, dude, totally, help me out. I'm like, okay, that's weird. He pretty much just threw me the keys to the Shopify store. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna go build like a just low-key Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale, and like, let's just see how it goes. He's like, cool, do whatever. I'm like, all right. And so he gave me just access to everything, which is just uncommon, I guess, from where I was at. It's like there's NDAs and there's service agreements and all this, and I'm just like, okay. And I get in there, I build the thing. I think it was the best Black Friday. It wasn't much. I think it was the best Black Friday, Cyber Monday that the brand has ever had. And it crushed. And I'm like, what do you want to do next? And he's like, well, I want to keep on growing it. I'm like, cool, let's figure out how we work together. So we drew up all these kind of weird agreements. None of that nonsense stuck. We ended up just becoming partners at the end of the day. So what we ended up doing was a giveaway. And so keep in mind, 40 grand a year, you boil all that down, it's about, less than $4,000 a month. So what we ended up doing was a giveaway. Now this giveaway is for a very specific part on a very specific car. And if you just think about that for a second, it's super niche with a broad audience. And so the amount of people that are going to be interested in this giveaway is going to be very few. And so when we launched this, we went, I think the previous month was maybe about 4,000. That month with this giveaway was about 8,000. So that's super cool. I'm like, okay, we just doubled in a month. That's awesome. And the whole point of me doing this was cupcake before the cake. When you bake a cupcake, and it tastes like crap, you didn't use all your ingredients, so maybe you can go back to the drawing boards and make another one until you get it right? But if you go bake the full cake and it tastes like somebody's shoe, like you just used all of your ingredients baking the cake. It's just gonna be garbage, right? So we didn't want to do that. We want to bake the cupcake first, see what crap comes out of that, and some crap did. Operations got blown up, all of this. So we ended up doing that and then taking a month to fix the operations. We fixed the operations, and that very next month, we're like, let's go do a full-on car giveaway. So it broadens the audience a little bit more. It's still his audience. We don't need to run ads or anything like that. And from an $8,000 a month down to, I think it was maybe like $2,500 or $3,000 a month, it freaking skyrocketed up to a $33,000 a month that very next month. As soon as we launched that giveaway offer, I think that first day it was like $5,000 or something like that. And it was like more than the previous month. It was kind of funny. And this is all just like, small relative numbers, but it's super cool to see like that amount of growth within a new brand. And this is where the problem started to set in. This is where we almost destroyed the company. We kept that pace going. And I thought in order to keep that pace, we needed to hire, we needed to spend, we needed to invest in order to grow, right? This was a new concept, and it had quick, fast, loud growth. What I should have done was be patient. This is the key that I learned. Patience, patience, patience. Instead, I hired somebody for the marketing. I hired somebody for advertising. I hired somebody for graphics, etc. Because I was like, oh, if we could do that with this, the very next giveaway that we do could be like this. So here's what happened. That first month we went from, we went to $33,000. I think it was the month of February. In March, we went to $44,000. We ended the giveaway at the end of March. Then we're like, oh wait, all sales stop when you're not doing a giveaway. Okay, we need to get another giveaway up and going quick. So we invested more in a better vehicle, thinking like this would attract more people and it'd be a much bigger giveaway. So the very first giveaway we did, I think the vehicle was like $4,000. The next giveaway we did, the vehicle was $25,000, something along those lines, thinking that, oh, $25,000 car is going to result in so much more interest, so much more money. It's turbo, blah, blah, blah. It's all this crazy stuff going on. We were stupid. That giveaway, we ran it for, I believe, 90 days instead of 60. And it didn't do as well as the initial giveaway we ran. Now, looking back at this, I should have anticipated that. This is brand new to a really just hot audience that, they don't purchase a lot of things. First marketing offer you throw at them, it's going to crush. But you got to be patient. You got to see where this is going to level out, because when things, and I'm finally using the paper pad now, when things spike up, right, they don't stay up. What happens with a spike? It comes back down somewhere, right? So let me use a different color so this makes more sense. So in this case scenario, what we ended up doing was spiking up, right, for 1 month, 2 months, and then we started to come down. So we actually came all the way back down to where we were. So we spiked up another giveaway again, but that giveaway didn't land as high as the other one did, right? In fact, with more costs and everything involved, it probably didn't even go as high as I just drew it. But what I'm trying to say here is this stuff is going to ebb and flow along your journey. Now, where's kind of the line, right? Because when we hit this, I think this was like 44K that month, right? Now we're hiring as if we're always going to do 44K. So, you hire X, you hire Y, you hire Z, you hire, I don't know, Q. And you got all these people, but your baseline is more like right here. Let's do that in red so that makes more sense. Your baseline is more like right here, right? So we ended up hiring at the peak, spending at the peak, but in reality, we should have just been a little bit more patient and just waited to see how things would kind of play out. And this was like the biggest lesson for me, because I was used to the fast-paced growth, and I used to being patient, but this number to me was like what we would do in like a few hours for the company that I was building, the company that I was a part of. So just to me, I was just like, oh yeah, whatever. Let's just go spend a bunch of money because we're going to make it back with these marketing ideas. And that wasn't the case. So in reality, our baseline was right here. So we ended up hiring all these people. And then a few months down the road, we started looking at the profit and loss statement, and the profit and loss statement started looking red. And then all this nonsense that comes with that started to happen. And so we had to crawl our way back out of this whole month over month over month from one mistake that happened 60 days in. This lasted for another year. It was crawling back out of this because we were stupid, we were not patient, and we tried to scale a little bit too fast. Just because this was the biggest month ever for that company doesn't mean it's always going to stay like that. It just means it's a spike. You're going to come back down as soon as that marketing play ends, right? Your marketing promos or your plays or whatever isn't relative to how much you will always make. It's only relative to when you do that campaign, essentially, right? And every campaign is going to land differently. This one, for example, landed really well. This one, for example, did not land as well. And we ended up spending more on this one than we did on this one. So all that kind of stuff comes into play. Literally almost destroyed that company just from the lack of patience. So the lesson that I learned from going through all of this is just be patient. Things can look amazing, but just know the market ebbs and flows, things change, regulations are put in, all this stuff comes into play. Hold your water. Do it a few times over. Bake the cupcake before you bake the cake. We should have baked a cupcake after this, not tried to go hire the entire cake and florist and whatever. So be patient. Take your time. Just because you have a minor spike of success doesn't mean that's how it's always going to be. It will change.